Hey angels, it is MJ. I am back with another video. Okay, so listen, we got to talk about this because I actually had this happen to me before. And yeah, I'm like, should I confront this person? I don't want to seem like I'm a crazy person. But okay, let's just talk about this. Have you ever been having a conversation with someone and you thought, maybe this is your ace boon coon, this is your best friend, this is a family member, and you're not really, you think you're just talking, right? So you're just having a conversation. And in this conversation, you mention something, right? And then, like, time passes and this person's talking one day and you realize, like, that was my idea. Like, they're talking about something and you're like, wait a minute, I remember saying that. Wait a minute. So anyway, I was online today, and as I am usually doing, I'm reading stories or listening to stories because I love stories. And I came across a posting that said, my friend said I stole her baby name. And it triggered me. It triggered me, y'all. And the reason it triggered me is because somebody stole my baby's name before. And I don't know if I've gotten over it yet. It's been a number of years, guys, but let me tell you, I don't know if I'm over it. I don't know if I'm generally the person who is very forgiving. I forgive very easily, but I don't forget. I do not forget. It is just my brain's makeup. I forgive very easily, but I don't forget easily. Anyway, so I remembered it and it kind of triggered me. So, anyway, let me go ahead and read what this person wrote. Hi, all. I'm currently expecting a baby soon. I just recently threw a baby shower where I revealed the name of our baby. Shortly after, I received a surprising text from a close friend that I stole her future baby's name that she had picked out for her child since 11th grade, which was over 11 years ago. We've never discussed baby names before in the decade that we've been friends, and the name has never even came up in our conversation. This is not your typical name either. It's a very unique name that even Google suggests has been a very low birth name statistic. I'm just appalled and I don't know how to go about the situation. It's as if I stole the name from her, even though I was the first to fall pregnant and bring the name up. Okay, I really love the name and I don't want to change it, but it's almost as if she's upset that I just so happened to name my child that and wants me to change it for her future child. Okay, so listen. Okay, so I'm trying to look for the responses to see if anybody wrote anything significant. Okay, this one person says, she's being entitled. Don't change the name you want. She'll have to get over it. Nobody owns a name. It affects the friendship. If it affects the friendship, then it's not real, anyways. And then someone else is laughing out loud. Someone said, I'm having a baby in a few weeks and still don't have a name, so I'd like to use it too. And then they did the tongue licking out emoji. Somebody shouted, share it, laugh out loud. Stop gatekeeping the name. Stop gatekeeping the name. The people of so and so want to know it. Tell us the name. I'm done having kids, so I can't steal it. I'm just nosy. So this person said, no one cared back in the 80s with all of the Jennifers being born. It's okay to have the same name. This is my last reading. Well, I'm going to read one more after this one. You didn't steal it. She may never get pregnant. She may never have the gender of the name. Her partner may veto the name. These are good points. So many variables for her to actually use the name. This is very true. The more I read, the more I'm feeling like I don't have grounds to stand on. Okay. The next person said, exactly this. I have a name that was a favorite name of mine since high school. I found it in a book I read. I'm 36 now, and the name spiked in popularity a while back because of some characters in two popular TV shows. I still love the name, but I doubt I'll ever use it. Okay, my husband's favorite name from back then is one of those names and that ends in Lynn, which has been popular lately, and I'm not a fan, so I vetoed it. Other person's friend needs to comb her. I'm not going to use the word she used. Okay, so that's it. There are some other statements about it, but I want to just get right to this video. So, story time. So, I was on the phone. This was a long time ago. And honestly, I think I was probably, if not a teenager, in my early 20s. So, I was not baby ready at all. Not at all. And that's a personal thing. No shade to anybody that's a teenager that has a baby or that is in their early 20s who has decided to become a mom. But at that time, I was not ready for a child. And so I was nowhere close to being baby ready. And I was talking to someone, and we're not that close, but we are, we're related. Let's just put it that way. And it's a he, it's a man. I was talking to him, and I don't know how we got on the subject of baby names, but I'm pretty much a baby fanatic, so I can see the conversation coming up. And I'm talking, and I say, yeah, I'm gonna have twins, and I'm gonna name them Amir and Amira because I really love those names. I'm gonna give the names away. And he says, well, what if you don't have twins? And I said, well, if I don't have twins, if I have a boy and a girl, I'll still name one Amir and I'll name the other Amira. If my family's watching this, they're going to know who I'm talking about. Shame on you. That's right. I'm outing you. And he said, you're way too young to even be thinking about that. That's what he said. So fast forward some years, talking to him, and he's talking about his new baby. And just like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Of course, I'm always excited when a baby is being born. And to say, what did you name the baby? And it was, of course, one of my baby's names. And I thought to myself, that's my baby's name. What? Y'all, am I crazy or not? Like, come on, y'all. Come on. Like, we got to have some sacredness and some sanctity about this thing. If somebody tells you, this is what I want to name my kids, and they're young, so they've put thought into it, right? I didn't even know that I wanted children at this time. I'm going to be straight up and honest with you. But a girl can dream. I can say, well, if I had kids, I'm just that person, right? I remember story time. I'm going to skip to another story real quick. I was in high school and I didn't want to be married. I said, I'm not going to get married. And I was roaming around a hotel, beautiful, beautiful hotel. Okay. A very beautiful hotel. And I thought that hotel was so beautiful. I mean, you got to keep in mind, I'm 16 years old. I'm about 16. I mean, everything's larger than life when you're 16. And I was with my best friend, and we're roaming around. And you guys may know this hotel. It reminded me of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You remember on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, how they had the chocolate lake and the boats were floating in the lake and they were inside of a building, but there was a chocolate lake and waterfalls and all. Yes, this hotel is that serious. So it's like an aquarium on the inside of a hotel. Anyway, let me just give away the name of the hotel. No, I'm not going to give away the name of the hotel, but some of you guys may know what hotel I'm talking about. And anyway, I was like, I'm never going to get married. But if I ever got married, I would get married at this hotel. I was 16. And my girlfriend looks at me and she goes, you're never getting married. You don't want to be married. And I was like, no, I don't ever want to get married. But if I do, this is where I would get married. So skipping forward to the baby name story again, that is what I was doing. I was dreaming a hypothetical, right? Because at the time, I didn't think I wanted kids, but I still, in my mind, I said, if I do ever have children, I think these are two beautiful names that I would love to have for my two babies, right? Even dreaming of having twins, a boy and a girl twin, which I think would be so awesome, right? So I'm doing this dreaming thing, and he says, "Oh, you're too young to be thinking about that." Like, I was like, "Yeah, you're right, but it's just a thought." And lo and behold, my baby's name got stole. So when I read this online, I was like, "Oh, I'm triggered. Like, yes, this is a real thing." Have you guys ever experienced that? Have you ever experienced where you're just innocently, what you assume is innocently, talking to someone, and later on you discover that that person has taken what you said, like they stole your baby's name? Now this girl had a very good point. She said a couple of things. You may not even have the sex that you're anticipating the name for. You may not even have kids ever, right? But what is the sanctity of someone telling you something in confidence? Is there any sanctity to that? Like, am I just old fashioned where I feel like if a person were to tell me that they wanted to name their baby something, that when I'm doing my thoughts on baby names, like, oh, that's Jessica's baby name. I don't want that. Like, Jessica, that's hers. That's her baby's name. I wouldn't want to take her baby's name. Like, how do you guys feel? I just need to know what other people think. Not that it's going to really change my mind, but it's interesting to hear other perspectives. Some of the comments that I read, I thought were good arguments against my ideas about my baby's name, my baby's name. That doesn't exist, obviously. But was my dream name for my future child. And in this girl's situation, hers was different in the sense that it looks to me like um, she didn't really think it was a big deal, because since the 11th grade, she said it was over 11 years ago, and they'd never discussed baby names before in a decade that they had been friends. So it never came up in their conversations. So it's as if I stole the name from her, even though I was the first to fall pregnant and bring the name up. So the friend is feeling that this girl took her baby's name. The girl is feeling that, no, I didn't. So she says, yeah, I feel is she's just upset because I happen to name my child that and wants me to change it for her future child. How do you guys feel about that? Um, so this is her friend's future baby's name, but she's having a baby now. She's currently pregnant with the baby. Do you feel she has a right to name her baby this baby's name? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think that this would be worth. I think that this could possibly end this friendship. It wouldn't be worth ending my friendship for me personally. Um, I, I just don't think that I would be willing to end my friendship over a baby's name. This girl did say, the poster said, this is a name that I really like, and I don't want to change this name. So she's already selected this name for her baby, which is going to be born soon. But her friend is saying, you stole my baby's name. Did she steal this baby's name? Do you guys feel that she stole this baby's name? I just think that some things are sacred, right? It kind of goes in with girl code. If you're dating a guy, he's off limits to me. Even if it's somebody, let's just say we're two girlfriends and you were talking and you're like, oh my God, I think this guy over here is so attractive. The moment I know you have eyes on him, that you like him, that he's somebody you're interested in, he's off limits to me. Because I feel like that, this is something you want. I don't want to interfere with that. I just feel that there's a certain amount of sacredness and respect that goes into people sharing their inner thoughts with you and the intimacy of that, because this person didn't have to share that with me, and that's pretty intimate. And by the way, I don't take this seriously. I don't really care about that name anymore. In fact, I don't even want to name my kids that anymore. So even a thing. And I love my family members. Like, this would never be something that would come between me and a family member. So I just want to make that clear. But what I'm saying is I do have, I guess, some maybe strange rules around the sacredness of people sharing their inner whatever with me. If somebody tells me about a guy they like, or they've dated this guy before, and I'm aware of that, I think that that thing is off limits to me. And I just stay away from it just out of respect. So you guys tell me how you think. Like, I don't want this video to go too long because I'm definitely contemplating it. But the baby name deal, I wonder how common it is to feel like your name has been taken. And it's interesting because in families we have names that repeat. Like in my family, we have this one name that several of my family members have, and it's never been a thing, right? They all have the same name. So why couldn't I just name my baby this name anyway? We already have several other people that have the same name. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's a common thing to have the same name in a family. I think it's not a big deal. You have juniors that are, you know, constantly, over and over. There's a junior, there's a second, there's a third. Then you have sometimes where women, I have in my family where there's a couple of women who share the same name. And we find ways to differentiate which particular person we're talking about. But yeah, just wondering how you guys feel about the name thing. I was just reading that. I was like, oh yes, oh my God, yes, this is painful. I remember when something similar to this happened to me. Yeah, so anyway, I don't care about the names anymore, but I just want to know what you guys think. And do you have rules like that? Do you have things that are sacred that you feel like, yeah, that's off limits? That's something that I'm not going to touch. Is there anything, especially as it pertains to the birth, the naming, the all of the things? Is there anything that's sacred to you? And let me know if you've ever had something like a baby name, or women, we're pretty particular about our clothing. We want to be that one girl with that one dress on, and we don't want anybody else to know. And what other women always want to know, what perfume are you wearing? Where'd you get those shoes? Where'd you get that dress? That shawl? I've just got to have it. Where'd you find that? And we share these things with each other as women. Sometimes we'll say, oh, this old thing, I've had this since, such and such. Oh, I got it from Macy's or whatever. And it's not that big of a deal. But what about when it comes to like baby names and things that are far more personal? Do you guys think that it's okay to share those things as well? How stingy are you with certain things? I tend to be stingy, guys, with certain things, because there's this idea that this is unique. I'm unique. This is uniquely set aside for me. Why would you want to have something that's uniquely set aside for me? And I think certain other things can be shared, and it's wonderful to share them. But then there's just certain things that I don't really want to duplicate, if that makes any sense. But you guys let me know. This video is almost going into 20 minutes. You guys let me know. Have you ever had someone to take something from you, to still steal something from you that maybe you don't really at all own, but you feel that you have some sort of ownership or possessiveness over it? And was it a baby name? Was it your baby's shine? Sometimes people try to take the baby's shine. Did somebody steal your baby's shine at their birth? Did somebody steal that moment from you? Like, have you had something where you felt like someone stole it from you as it pertains to your baby or your birth story or any of those things. But yeah, the name thing definitely got me. And I am MJ. I have enjoyed this time with you guys. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe, like, follow me, and I will see you guys on the next live or the next video. Good night.